Another player that comes in mind when we speak to you is obviously Ginobili, as we mentioned before. Could you describe us your relationship with Ginobili?
It was very honest, very open, very. Manu is one of the, let's say, is another Kyle Lyons. You know, is always team first. Is always, he has a positive leadership. He has a unique energy. He brings you a lot of enthusiasm. Even in the final part of his career, if you remember, when he was 37, whatever, everybody goes on YouTube and sees his block shot on Harden game, or a great pass, or even a dunk. So can you imagine when he was 23, 24?
Crazy.
It was, he had unbelievable parents who grew unbelievable family, brothers, whatever. So he's always been, in the right environment, and everything good that happened in his career is much more than deserved.
Did he contributed to the fact that the Spurs signed you?
No, I don't.
No,
is it? So. No. We kept the relationship because, as you know, when in Bologna we signed him, he had been drafted, and so R.C. Buford and his staff, we always had them at practices, at games, or whatever. So we were in an indirect way. I was, let's say, a second-level member of the family. Meaning that we had a relationship with Coach Pop, with RC, with
nice.
Yes.
It's interesting, I grew up loving basketball since I was a very young kid. I was a lefty. And out of all the players, the player that drove me the craziest watching the highlights was Ginobili, For me, it's beyond basketball. It was like art, music. And my question to you is, when you have those players that are insanely talented, you as a coach, what is your role? Like, you cannot tell them, like, this is how you have to dribble the ball. Like, how do you coach these types of players?
Well, first of all, you're fortunate because when you go to the gym, these players give you energy, enthusiasm. A lot of times it works the other way, meaning that players would need your energy, your enthusiasm. And obviously when you're 40 it's one energy, when you're 60 it's a completely different energy. So to have these people that feed you with their energy is a blessing. It's very, very important. I think that back then the thing was to, for what I can recall with Manu, it was always at the beginning to make him see the passes, where he had outlets, where he had how to, when was the best moment for him to take over a game, to take control, maybe help him, like all great young athletes, skilled. Obviously, sometimes he was doing too fast. So and not only me, I think he was fortunate to play with Antoine Rigaudot.
Yes.
I think he benefited a lot talking with Antoine. I imagine because when you have those players, you try to steal something. And Manu has always been too nice to me, and he always said very warm and heartfelt things. But the reality was that anybody could have helped him, because he helped himself to become who he is. But that was, I remember back then. I think all these players, all these great players, can be helped a little bit to figure out how to use their enormous talent also with the others. How to use also the other players to help them to perform, so that they can also take a little bit of load out of themselves and they can save their best for the crucial moment. You cannot, as good as you are, you cannot do the game by yourself for 40 minutes.
For sure,
it's exhausting. So you need to, let's say, find a way to work together with the others, and that's where I think a coach can help.
Yes.
Most of the times these great players also show you something that maybe you have never seen in terms of individual skills or quality of passes or whatever. What you can help them to see is how to connect with the others. That's something you can see.